Welcome back to the Midday Ghost Show. I'm your host, Matty, and today I want to wrap up our spooky story of the month for the month of March, Silvia Moreno-Garcia's Mexican Gothic. This wrap-up video is going to be a little bit different because I really want to not get into spoiling the story. I really want to keep it to just giving you my impressions of the story and, letting you know how I felt about it because, I know that not everybody is reading these stories at the same time I am, and I don't want to spoil it for you if that's a book that you would like to read. So I'm just going to kind of let you know how I felt about it, what I liked about it, and kind of give you an overall sense of what, you can kind of expect from the story without giving away details. So let's get into it. Oddly enough, I first came across Silvia Moreno-Garcia in doing a Google search for other vampire stories. Her book, Certain Dark Things, came up, and then when I tried looking for a copy of that, apparently it's out of print, and or at least it was out of print, and more recently has been announced that it's going to be reprinted again under a new publisher later this year, which I am very stoked to check out. But in trying to find a copy of Certain Dark Things, I came across the fact that she had just came out with Mexican Gothic, and the first time I found it in store, I snatched it up. Our story follows the character Noemi as she is sent by her family to go and check in on her cousin, Catalina, who is living out in the countryside with her new husband, Virgil. The family had received a number of letters from Catalina that sounded like something was wrong, and they don't really know the husband, and in those letters there's sort of implication that there's voices and kind of there's a ghostly presence in the house. So Noemi is sent to check in on her and see how things are going. In some ways, I feel like the story is totally one of those pieces where the old world and the modern world collide. The family that she's staying with at this house is very old world, very English, very not involved in Mexican culture, and they're very white. And Noemi is very young, very modern, and speaks her mind, is very kind of clever and playful. And so it's kind of this clash of cultures and personality types immediately. And once you start throwing in some of the visions and the voices and things like that that are in the house, things get pretty creepy. Without giving away the story, I thought that the approach to the haunting was really interesting because it goes in a completely different direction than I've even come across in movies or TV shows. There's sort of a common way of explaining why a haunting is happening or why a ghost is there, or a vision of some kind of person thing, or why there's these specific kind of nightmares occurring. And the way that it all unfolds is very different and very fresh and really cool. I thought it was a really interesting idea. I mean, in some ways, I would call it sort of sci-fi-esque, sci-fi horror-esque. Really cool. I don't think that gives away too much, but still, definitely check it out. As far as being a spooky story, I feel like this is a great place to start if you've never read a ghost story before or read a horror book in general, because it rides the line of being kind of scary while also going in different directions. It's never too much. I feel like if you're not used to having a horror element in a story before, you'll get into these bits and pieces and then you move on. But overall, I really enjoyed this story. I felt like it was very quick to read. There was no point where I felt like, where's this going? What's the point of this moment? I feel like there's, books that you come across where it can be kind of okay, that was a chapter that I don't really know how that tied in with anything else. But, this book came and went very quickly. Very engaging. I definitely highly recommend that you check it out. As always, I'll have links for where you can find a hard copy, an ebook copy, an audiobook, whatever it is that you want to get for Mexican Gothic down in the description down below. If you're into vampire stories, keep an eye out for her book, Certain Dark Things, which is being republished, I think, later this year in September. But if you did read the book, let me know what you thought in a comment down below, or if you're planning on reading it, you can also let me know that too. If you liked this video, give it a like, and if you're not subscribed, well, it doesn't hurt to subscribe, and also ring the bell for notifications, because you know, second video of the week, kind of wild. You know, that's not a thing I normally do, so you might want to know when these things are coming out. But anyway, until next time, stay spooky, everybody.